The term Chrislam is the conjunction of two nouns, Christianity with Islam. It is a hybrid doctrine that is fast becoming a religion of its own. This pseudo-merger of the world's two largest faiths, Christianity and Islam, is the dream of every ecumenical and interfaith type. However, this marriage is not made in heaven but rather in hell, as their doctrines are nothing short of heresy. The irony is that Islam and Christianity have as much in common as oil and water. For example, the doctrine of the deity of Jesus Christ is paramount to the Christian faith, while in Islam it is equally paramount to deny the deity of Christ. The greatest sin in Islam is called shirk, making something equal with God. Muslims claim that Christians blaspheme and are guilty of shirk by making Jesus God. So how do religious leaders of both Islam and Christianity reconcile the divisions and contradictions between Islam and Christianity? They focus on what they have in common, as both faiths are from the same family, Abraham's family. Both see Adam, Abraham, Moses, David, Solomon and Jesus as men that feared God and that God ministered through. Most of the faithful will readily see the obvious contradictions of Chrislam. However, it seems that America is ripe for this deception. The Barna Research Group did a study on pluralism in America. The report revealed that 6 out of 10 American adults believe that the God of the Quran is the same as the God of the Bible. Of that 6 out of 10, 40% described themselves as born-again believers. This, by the way, illustrates how poorly the pulpits of America are doing in teaching theology. There are 4 major sources behind this movement. The first is fault of Christian missionaries, the second is the effort of Muslims trying to do their dawah, evangelism, and draw Christians to their faith. The third source has influenced our former president, Barack Obama. The last source is coming from a world-class diplomat who is influencing powerful people in our world today. Inside movement is a technique developed and practiced by Christian ecumenical and interfaith types within the Christian world. There are 2 issues at play here. The first is penalty that Islam demands for leaving Islam. The Sharia law book is clear about killing apostates. Not only are converts at risk of losing their lives, the missionary is also at risk of being killed, jailed or deported. So in an effort to protect themselves and their convert, the convert is encouraged to stay inside their Muslim identity. The second issue is more sinister. The missionary waters down the gospel in the effort to contextualize or syncretize the gospel into the Muslim mind. They know Muslims already see Jesus as a prophet, so they tell the Muslim they just need to add more to their understanding about Jesus. Jesus can also be your savior. You don't have to leave Muhammad as a prophet, just add Jesus as being your savior. It is important to interject here that a Muslim is still a Muslim unless he publicly renounces his faith in Islam. Unless missionaries are requiring Muslims to renounce their Islamic faith, the Muslim still thinks he is Muslim and just adding some Christian doctrines to their religion. Furthermore, the insiders have created a Muslim-friendly Bible and removed all the things that offend Muslims. As Muslims reject the Trinity and think it blasphemous to say that God has a son, these Bibles lose vital doctrines. Shamefully, baptism now becomes an efficacious work to wash away sin. Also, God the Father and God the Son are removed from the Holy Scriptures. Needless to say, the insider movement is not creating true converts who have entered in at the narrow gate, but rather they are creating false converts who are entering at the wide gate that leads to destruction. The Common Word movement is a Muslim initiative whose aim is to bring Christians and Muslims together in harmony and agree upon what the two faiths have in common. Many are surprised that the Quran makes many appeals to Christians and Jews. 239 times the Quran says, "O people of the book." What book? The Bible. So the Quran is proclaiming a message to the Jews and Christians. This verse starts off peacefully and then it punches us in the nose. Come, let us worship God together, but you can't say Jesus is God. Let me explain what they mean by ascribe no partner unto him. They mean shirk, making someone equal with God. Don't ascribe Jesus as a partner, equal to God. Because of this movement, Christians are inviting Muslims into their churches to read scriptures together, and they hold Children of Abraham meetings and other interfaith meetings. America's two most famous preachers of black liberation theology hail from Chicago. For Islam, it is their Nation of Islam, now led by Louis Farrakhan, and for Christianity, it is the Trinity United Church of Christ that was led by Jeremiah Wright. In 1982, the church newsletter called The Trumpet Magazine announced that Jeremiah Wright bestowed a Lifetime Honor Award on Louis Farrakhan as a man of God. Isn't it odd that a Christian church honors a prominent Muslim? This is the same church that Barack and Michelle Obama were members of for 20 years. Obama was taught that he could add to his Muslim faith, that Jesus could be his savior and not have to renounce his Muslim faith. In the eyes of Islam, you are still Muslim unless you renounce your Muslim faith. We have heard Obama give his testimony that his pastor taught him how Jesus could be his savior. But we have never heard Obama publicly renounce Islam nor get baptized. I put it to you that Obama is a confused man. He was taught he could be both Christian and retain his Muslim faith too. We saw Obama always favor Islam over Christianity when he had a choice, which I think shows his loyalty to Islam. In short, Obama, who was once the most powerful man in the world, has been influenced greatly by Chrislam. Perhaps the most important issue about Chrislam is not the who but the what. What does Chrislam represent? It represents the making of the one world religion. As Christianity and Islam engulf half of the world's population, we cannot ignore the significance of this developing merger.